Hello everyone, I'm Crafty and today I'm gonna talk about an archetype that I'm really enjoying playing on Master Duel, which is Dragunity. So I've been asked by a couple of people on my comment section before to do a guide about Dragunity. So this is my attempt uh, in doing that. Just as a disclaimer, however, I'm just a casual player. I enjoy Master Duel casually, and by that I mean I only play ranked, but when I play ranked, I don't really like take it seriously. I don't grind ranked that much because one, I see no point in grinding ranked because there is no actual reward in doing so. Uh, and two, I don't really enjoy playing against like different flavors of floodgate decks, basically, right? And that's most of the decks at higher level, basically. Like even the decks that don't usually run floodgates, they do run floodgates now. So yeah, I didn't enjoy the high level play, so uh, I just stuck to my play style, which is like to play at mid range, like around gold and plat, and just face more variety of decks in that range. And it's been more enjoyable that way, like facing more variety of decks, having like back and forth games, and actually going into turn three and beyond. Because believe it or not, in this game there is actually turns beyond turn two. So yeah. So anyway, uh, I do not know everything about Dragunity, of course. Like there are other people who might know like the deck better than me and have been playing this game way longer than me. But you know, a couple of people on my comment like asked me to do this, so I'm just gonna do this to the best of my ability. And this is also an opportunity for me to just talk about this deck that I'm passionate about because I really like the archetype. I like the play style, and yeah. So here we go. So let's hop right into the deck list. So this is a very standard deck list for a Dragonity deck. You might see like some pendulum cards here. These are not really necessary for the combo, but they are nice like extenders and hand trap baits to have in your deck basically. And having these cards also like round up the deck to like 43 cards, which is the ratio that I like to run the deck with. So yeah, so first of all we have like Samsara Dragon. We're gonna skip Driver here because there is nothing to talk about Driver. So Samsara Dragon, Baby Rock, these are extenders. Uh, you have your tuners, which are Phalanx and Goose. You have three Remus in the deck, of course. These are mandatory with three Ravine. Remus is your combo starter with Ravine, and they both search each other. And we also like run cards like Tempest, Cause Sarcophagus, and Terraforming to actually help search Ravine, of course. Also, we have like three Ash Blossom and Gamma as hand traps. Gamma is not necessary. I only play Gamma because I play Chaos Ruler, to be honest with you. So if I wasn't playing Chaos Ruler, I would not run Gamma. I might run like three of other cards. Maybe like I can bump up Senatus to three, maybe. Although I don't really like Senatus. Like it's a very bad designed. It's a very bad card, badly designed, very restrictive. So that's why I only run one. But in some variation of the deck, you can run three and get away with it basically. So yeah, you have another tuner in Gizarmi. Most people run Gizarmi with another card, which is Whirlwind, Dragonity Whirlwind. Let me try and look it up. What is it? This one. So usually people will run this card in a go second deck, right? So they run Whirlwind, activate Whirlwind, try to get Gizarmi and another level 4 Dragonity Wing Beast on the field, and then immediately Synchro Summon into Black Rose Dragon. Oops. So they try to go into Black Rose Dragon just to wipe out the board. I don't really like that play too much for one reason. It's because of the format of the games in Master Duel. It's a best of one, and if you go first, Whirlwind is really dead in your hand. You cannot activate it because you need only your opponent to have a monster on the field to activate it. So it's dead on turn one, and on turn two, your opponent most likely have a board with decent interruptions anyway, so it's very unlikely that you're gonna actually resolve Whirlwind, right? So that's why most people who run Whirlwind in Master Duel, they run it in a specifically go second deck with a lot of board wipes. Board wipes like Dark Ruler No More, Evenly Match, Forbidden Droplet, etc. So they just break the board first and then they use Whirlwind. And I don't really like that playstyle too much. I like to have an interactive game. That's why I choose not to play that way. And since I'm not really into grinding ranked, I don't care if I lose games. Like I just prefer to have an interactive game more than anything, basically. So yeah. Uh, so besides the tuners, of course, Phalanx, Kus, and Gizarmi, uh, I didn't say why I run Gizarmi if I don't run Whirlwind. Well, the reason why I run Gizarmi is because one, Gizarmi is actually a really good combo extender, especially if you get interrupted beforehand, right? Like if you get like Veilered on like Guiderg or something, uh, you need like some way to extend your plays, and Gizarmi is really good at doing that. Not only it's really good at extending your plays, but also it's really good at saving you resources because Gizarmi allows you to special summon like your winged beast from the graveyard, right? Like your Dragunity winged beast from the graveyard, and if you know the combo of Dragunity, you know that at certain point at the end of the combo, you need to have a winged beast to synchro summon with Kus to go into Barca, right? And if you use Gizarmi as combo extender, you will see later on, you can actually save resources. You can actually go through your whole combo without even using Zephyros. So there is that. And also you can use Gizarmi as bait for like hand traps, right? Or even bait for interruptions like from your opponent. Because some people who don't know how Dragunity works might attempt to negate Gizarmi just to deny you a free special summon from the graveyard, basically, which happened. Like I have a video on my channel, a video where you can even see the video where Trishula, actually, the streamer Trishula, uh, reacted to my replay. In that replay, I actually played Gizarmi, like I normal summoned Gizarmi, attempting to special summon from the graveyard, and I actually got interrupted on that. Like my opponent actually forbidden dropleted my Gizarmi, basically. So yeah, you can check that video out. Like it's actually really cool how Trishula reacted to my replay. So yeah, so that's Gizarmi basically. That's the reason why I run Gizarmi, even though I don't run the Whirlwind package. Uh, Dukes, of course, you need one copy. It's your normal summon in the deck, and if you don't run like Senatus, of course, like this is your normal summon. Usually, Senatus and Dukes are your only normal summon. Gizarmi is your other normal summon if you want to extend, of course. There is nothing to it, like you just normal summon it and equip a tuner to it from the graveyard, and then you go into your second place. You run one Zephyros, of course, it's a combo extender. You run three Legatus. You can run two, I prefer to run three. Legatus is your free special summon from the hand, basically. Every combo deck has one. This is ours. So, Legatus can special summon itself from the hand once per turn if I control either Dragon Ravine or any other Dragunity monster. So it's very easy to special summon. Usually when you special summon it, you're gonna immediately synchro summon with Remus to go into Guiderg, but sometimes you're gonna use its second effect, where if you control a Dragunity monster in your spell and trap zone, you can pop one spell or trap card on the field. So this might help you like get rid of some back row or maybe some field spells that are problematic. So it's a good effect to keep in mind. So just keep in mind that if you're gonna use Legatus to special summon stuff from the hand, if you're gonna synchro summon with it, it's gonna be hard to get another copy of Legatus to use the second effect. So it's all about decision making, basically. Do you special summon to go into synchro, or do you delay the summoning of Legatus for later on in the combo when you have a Dragunity monster in the spell and trap zone, and then you summon it to use its effect to pop one spell or trap card, basically. So it's all about decision making. Besides those low level monsters, we run some high level monsters, of course. Uh, Mistletoe. Mistletoe is a combo extender, is a very important combo extender that we recycle at least once with some Samsara Dragon. We have Tempest, of course, like I said before. Tempest is just a card that we use to help us search for Ravine. We can also use Tempest to synchro summon as well with Gizarmi, because Gizarmi is a level 3 and Tempest is a level 7, so we can go into our level 10 synchros with this. Uh, we run the Strudo here as a combo extender as well. Like if you need like to go into Heretic Seal, you can just use the Strudo for as a free summon. Also, you can use the Strudo in combination with your level 6, which are Mistletoe and Gaiderk, to lower its level to level 1, and then use it with Chaos Ruler, which is level 8, to go into your level 9 Synchro Hot Red Dragon Arcfiend Abyss. So, an Arcfiend Abyss is actually really good against back row decks. So, yeah. We can run Leviathan here. Like Leviathan is not necessary, but it's a really good extender if you don't have Red MD. Usually you use Red MD during your standard combo. I will show later. However, sometimes you don't have access to your Red MD for some reason, so you use Leviathan instead. Of course, when you reach that point of the combo, the play is a little bit different, but the result is the same. We run one copy of Armagram in Master Duel, so Armagram is really good in the best of one format. This card can win you games alone. It's a free special summon usually, because by the time you're gonna special summon it, you already have the graveyard loaded with with the dragons and winged beasts, so it's very easy to summon. And also it has really good effects on the field. It allows you to permanently negate a one face-up monster, so you can target and permanently negate one face-up monster on the field. So it kind of works like Forbidden Droplet, so but permanent. And also it lowers the attack of the negated monster by 1000 uh, per equip card that we have on the field. So any card that is considered an equip card in our spell and trap zone counts towards this, and this works with its last effect, where if Armagram is on the field and we destroy an opponent monster by battle and it is sent to the graveyard, we can actually steal that monster from the graveyard and equip it to Armagram, right? So it's gonna be treated as an equip card, which works in tandem with the 1000 attack reduction, basically. So yeah, this card is amazing. We run also like a small pendulum engine just as an extender again. Like you can use Dark Worm to special summon itself from the graveyard if you discard it with Ravine. So that's a free dragon on the field, which will help you to go into either your like Romulus or Heretic Seal, and sometimes you can go into Boros or Dragon with it as well. So it all depends on the state of the game. Supreme King Gate Zero is just a card to discard and to search for with Dark Worm. Like it's another card that we can add with Dark Worm, and it's a free discard for Ravine. However, we can also use it in tandem with Odai's Revolution Dragon to set up the scale and actually pendulum summon some dragons. Because when you set up these two, you can actually pendulum summon dragons and only dragons, and you can go from there if your hand like it does not really have Remus, for example, or Dragon Ravine. So you can start your combo from this position if you have other dragons in your hand. Uh, Odai's Revolution Dragon is a high scale, so Gate 0 is scale 0. Revolution Dragon is scale 12, so you can summon anything between level 1 and 11, so which are all our cards basically. So yeah, besides the pendulum summon, Oda's Revolution Dragon has another effect, which is like from the hand we can actually pay 500 life points and discard Revolution Dragon to add any Pendulum Dragon in our deck. So our only target is Dark Worm basically. So we can add Dark Worm and then discard it with Ravine. Also, that effect can be ashed. So this can be actually an ash check, right? So our opponent can ash this, which would be great for us. So we eat up an interruption with this effect, and we can also check if the opponent has like a response to this effect basically in hand, because the field is gonna light up on their side if they have anything basically, right? So this is a really good first play to do, like just activate Revolution Dragon to check if the opponent has anything activatable, right? And if you actually resolve the effect, then you have like a free discard from your hand to go into basically, right? And however, the best effect of Odai's Revolution Dragon is actually its pendulum effect. So this pendulum effect allows us to target any synchro, Xyz, or fusion monster in our graveyard. Usually we use this for our synchro monsters, and then we can destroy a Revolution Dragon from the scale and then special summon that synchro monster, right? So this act like either a free reborn or a free extender. So this is really good. I only play two of these in the deck just to keep it consistent, but you can play three if you want, you know, like it depends on what ratios you want to use in your deck. A good ratio for a Dragunity deck is anything between 43 and 47. So anything between those are good ratios. Usually you want more monsters than spell and traps, of course. So yeah. You noticed we are very like light on hand traps because it's because hand traps and any other card that is not an extender or a follow up really hurts the consistency of the deck. That's why we only run like Ash and Gamma at best, and even Gamma sometimes you can cut out if you don't run the Chaos package basically. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, like I said, Terraforming Gold Sarcophagus is just to help search Ravine. We have Ravine, of course. We have Glow. Glow is really important. We search it with Romulus usually. However, if you have Glow in hand already, you can use Romulus to search Dragunity Oubliette, the counter trap. So uh, we run two Dragon Glow because sometimes Glow gets interrupted, so having a second one is good for next turn. And sometimes you use the first Glow, but the game drags out, so you need something to help you grind out games, and the second copy can come in handy for to grind games. We run two Cosmic Cyclone. This is a new addition to the deck just because Runic exists, basically. That's the only reason. If Runic didn't exist, we would change this card for any other two cards, basically. But unfortunately, Runic exists, so we have to play this. And even this card also helps against other matchups, of course, like Labyrinth and maybe some branded Despia matchups or whatever. But yeah, it's mainly against Runic. We run two Call by the Grave, of course, because Maxi exists, unfortunately, and Maxi kills this deck. Like it really hurts this deck. Like this deck likes to special summon more than any other deck, like more than even Adamancipator, if you believe it or not. So yeah, like what we do in like 50 steps, other decks can do in 10 steps, unfortunately. So we really like special summoning. So yeah, we need some ways to deal with Maxi, so that's why we have Call by the Grave and Ash. And since we are also running Gamma, so we have enough cards to deal with Maxi basically. And then there is Dragunity Oubliette. So Dragunity Oubliette is really interesting. Uh, it's a counter trap, so not a lot of other cards can respond to this. And also, it has a niche effect where it negates a spell and trap card but it banishes it. So it negates the activation of a spell and trap card and it banishes it. And banishing those cards is actually really important in this meta, where most of the meta decks really likes to have their back row cards be in the graveyard, just as a follow-up or as an extender or as like a recycling method. And banishing their cards actually denies them resources. So this is why you want to run at least one oubliette, and one is enough because this effect can only be activated once per turn. So, and you can search it with Romulus from the deck if you have like glow in hand, because usually you wanna search glow first, of course, for your combo. Other cards that you can run instead of the Pendulum engine, you can run like Simorg, a small Simorg engine of 5 cards. Simorg is the kind of the same like thing as the Pendulum. Like it's just an extender. However, it can end up on a spell and trap negate as well on the board. You cannot play both because they conflict with each other. Like for like monster space, so you either run one or the other. You can play both and just play whatever you draw, of course, but usually you either run this or this. And when you run Simorg, usually you can pair it with a small a small armed dragon engine, which can extend your plays even further because it's a free special summon, and also it can help you get to Ravine due to the effect of Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, which allows you to add any higher level dragon. Usually you're gonna have to add like maybe Tempest, and then you use Tempest to get into Remus, and then Remus to get into Ravine basically. So yeah, for the extra deck, you use, of course, Guider. Guider is your most important piece of the extra deck. You're gonna re-special this card at least 3 times during your combo, and because its effect is a soft once per turn, you're gonna keep using its effect to like add cards and discard cards, and basically load up the graveyard with your combo pieces, basically. Vairayana alongside Ascalon are just follow-up cards. Usually you go into these cards to finish off your opponent. So unless you're playing like second, usually you're not gonna summon these cards on your first turn. So on your first turn, however, you're gonna use Barca. Of course, Barca is a really important piece of your combo. You're gonna summon it later on into the combo to equip it with all your tuners from the graveyard, and then special summon your tuners from the spell and trap zone, and keep synchro summoning and put up your final board. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is a really good monster negate to have. You can actually summon this card on the fifth summon, depending on your opening hand. And like that, you don't need to worry about Nibiru. This is our anti Nibiru card, basically, right? We can summon it on the fifth summon with a combo, and then keep comboing without worrying about Nibiru. Although Nibiru have seen a decline in usages in Master Duel nowadays, but it's still a good card to have in the extra deck. Also, we run Boral Savage Dragon, of course, it's a very good staple. When we summon it, usually we equip it with Romulus, so we already have 2 counters on it. So there is that. We run the Chaos Ruler, of course, it's a very good card in this deck. We run a lot of cards that want to be in the graveyard, especially our tuners. And we can even add some light or dark monster to our hand as well. Like we run Gamma, we run like some dark monster here and there that we can add to our hand. We can add like Zephyros to discard. We can add like Destrudo. Like we have a lot. We can add even Revolution Dragon to our hand if we hit it. We have a lot of targets to add in our hand if we can hit them, of course. Some people might even run one Veiler, Effect Veiler in the deck, right? That's also a good card, and you can also like normal summon Veiler and and like synchro with Chaos Ruler into like Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. So instead of using Destrudo, you just use Veiler. Like there is a lot of ways to use Chaos Dragon, of course. So it's a good card to have, and it's a Dragon Synchro, so it works with our deck just fine. Of course, Hot Red Dragon Arcane Abyss. This card is really good. It helps us against back row deck, like alongside like Boros Savage Dragon, alongside like cards like Simorg of Darkness. If we run the Simorg engine, like And with the oubliette, if we can get oubliette on the field, we would have like four back row disruption basically, which is really good in this format. So Ascalon, like I said, with Vairayana are just follow-up cards to finish off your opponent. This card is basically access code talker at home. It does target, but it does not destroy, it banishes. So it can get around destruction immunities basically, right? So this card can use its effect as many times as you want, as long as you have Dragunity monster to banish from the graveyard, because you need to banish. You need to target one monster on the field, like on your opponent's field, and banish one Dragunity monster from your graveyard, and then banish that monster. So as long as we have like cards to banish from the graveyard, you can keep using this effect in one turn basically. There is no once per turn effect on it. It has a secondary effect where if it is destroyed while it was synchro summoned, you can special summon another Dragonity Synchro from your extra deck with 3000 attack or less, and that special summon counts as a Synchro summon, so you can activate the effect of that monster. That does not come up too often, but when it does, it's quite nice. Like you can put up another body on the board, basically. Arid Bear. Arid Bear is your first boss monster that you're gonna summon if you did not summon Ascaron. So this is your first turn like Dragunity Synchro basically that you're gonna put up on the board, and is gonna allow you to use Oubliette, because you cannot use Oubliette unless you control a Dragunity Synchro monster on the field. So Arid Bear is kinda like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, except when it negates a monster effect, it banishes it. It does not destroy it. So, which is really good because it's gonna allow you to deny resources from your opponent. So not only you negate the effect, but also banish the card. Of course, in order to banish the card needs to be in the same place where it activated its effect. So if you negate like an Eldritch, for example, from the hand, when it uses its effect from the hand, for example, to discard itself, you cannot banish it because it changed places, right? However, if Eldritch uses its effect in the graveyard to special summon itself, because it's still trying to resolve the effect from the graveyard, then you can banish it from the graveyard. So that's just a little bit of information for you. So if you negate something that discarded itself from the hand and you don't see it banished, don't get surprised. It's not a bug. That's how the card works. The card needs to be in the same place where it needs to resolve the effect in order to be banished by this effect. So yeah. Also, Arid Bear, like Ascalon, has another effect where if it is destroyed by your opponent's card while it was synchro summoned, you can destroy all the back row of your opponent, basically. All spell and trap cards your opponent control. Which is nice, like you can actually you can actually use this effect to your advantage to actually clear like some floodgates and whatever. So it's kinda nice. We play one Atom. Atom is extender, so alongside Heretic Seal. So this is the Heretic package that we run. Uh, Heretic Seal is a combo extender most of the time. We run two copies because sometimes we need the second copy to end up on in the first turn combo, just as a disruption basically. Uh, we run Hope Harbinger. So Hope Harbinger is really good against this meta, especially because not only it allows you to negate spell cards, right, whether the activation or the effect, but also it attaches the card that it negates for itself as Xyz material. So it denies resources in the same way Oubliette denies resources. So if you use this against Runic, you can actually suck the field spell, for example, right? So it does not go to the graveyard. You can even use it on the quick spells to suck it as Xyz material to deny it from the graveyard. Like this card is really good against decks like Runic, like Sky Striker, like Eldritch, like even Branded Despia. Like if you can suck the something like Branded Opening or Branded Fusion or something, like cards that like to be in the graveyard, whether to use their effect or to recycle themselves, right? So you just suck those cards as Xyz material and you deny resources. So it's really good. The last spot, like you can either play a second copy of Ramulus just to be consistent, or you can play Boral Sword Dragon. I prefer Boral Sword Dragon because there are some cards in this game that are really hard to out for Red Dragonity, cards like Baguska, for example. Baguska is really hard to deal with Dragunity, like the normal way. So you need some way of like getting rid of Baguska before everything like spiral out of hand, right? So you use, if you can like put out at least four monsters on the field, you can go into Boral Sword Dragon and just clear the Baguska. Also, this card can clear like some cards that have a high attack, so there is that as well. So yeah, so this is the deck breakdown. Like this video is more about like the deck breakdown. The next video, I'm gonna hop into like a game like in solo mode here and just show you the combos. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And if you have any questions about these cards, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will try to answer it either on the next video or maybe I will answer the comments themselves to the best of my abilities. Next time I'm gonna put these cards, like these engine cards, in the deck and just hop into a game like solo game and show you all the combos that I know of and show you when you can do what and when you cannot do other things. So until next time, see you and stay hydrated. Bye.